Alright, hi everyone. So today we're going to be learning how to do some 3D motion tracking in After Effects. Alright, so first we're going to import our file. So just go back to tutorials, and it was down. There we go. Alright. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your footage and then you're going to drag it into the new composition here. And that's going to create a composition with all your settings and frame rates, the same as the actual footage. So what we're going to do to track the footage is you're going to click here, and this time you're going to hit track camera. So see here, it starts analyzing the background, and this can take a little while. So it depends on the speed of your machine. So I'm going to pause it now, and then I'll play it again when it's done analyzing. Alright guys, so it just finished. So as you can see, there's a lot of little tracking points. Alright. So as you can see, there's a lot of track points, and that's really good. That's what we want. So what we're gonna do is see how when you hover over, there's tons of little targets. So let me go here maybe. Yeah. So yeah, and so these targets are really useful. You want to find the one that has the same perspective as what you want. Yeah. And here we're going to change the screen, so I think this one would be the best. Like, this target would be pretty bad because this is pretty, yeah, it's totally incorrect. So we want this target, on the other hand, seems to matches the screen, so it looks perfect. So now you're going to right click and hit solid in camera. So let's see. So this looks pretty good. Alright. Okay, so now we're going to scale this so it'll fit our screen. Alright. Okay, so now what we're going to do is right click. Oh, fuck this guy. Alright, so now that that's done, as you can see, we have track solid, and it looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to right click here and hit pre-compose. And we're going to call this comp screen, because this is the computer screen. Now we're going to double click here, and it'll open up the comp screen. This is really good because now we can edit what it shows on that screen. So first we're going to go into the composition settings and change it to our screen size, or to the aspect ratio of our screen. So mine is 1920 by 1080. Alright, and now we're going to change this so that it matches our thing. Okay, and then what we can do is turn this to a green color. Just going to right click We don't even need to do that. You know what I'm going to do? Instead, I'm going to put text. That would look cooler. So we're going to call this awesome tutorial. Okay, and we're just going to move the text onto the center and make it huge. Alright. Okay, so we'll change the color so we can see it to maybe blue. Everyone loves blue text. Okay, so now when we go back to our main composition, which is here, check it out. So now on our computer screen, it's like it says awesome tutorial is kind of like stuck there. Okay, what we should do is place this so it actually matches the computer screen. So we're going to go right here at the end, and we're going to use the rotate tool, rotate it so that it's straight, not this layer. I'll lock this layer so I don't end up doing that by accident. And you're going to rotate it like this. You're going to move it up, and we're going to scale it up. So just going to use this tool and scale it until it matches almost perfectly. Alright, so as you can see, this perspective is a little bit off, and that's something we're going to have to fix later. So we're going to go back into our other composition, and we're going to add a background to make it look like the computer screen is on. I'm going to take a new layer, solid, then we're going to turn it into white. Okay. So now this is like the back of the computer screen. So we go back here to our other composition. That's what it looks like. Now as you can see, there are a few small things that we have to realize, like this is a little off, the side over here is a little off, this is a little off. Basically, there's a lot of issues, and I think this is just one of After Effects' issues. So what we're gonna do to fix it is, I think this side is pretty good, and it's just here that should be bigger, and this should be bigger. So what we're gonna do is, over here we're gonna add an effect. Select this, add an effect, and we can look for it here actually. Just give it a second. Okay, and we're gonna call it corner pin. Yeah, so it's under distort. It's gonna drag that there. Alright, so now we can move the corners a little bit. So I'm going to move this down just a teensy. Actually, no. You know what? We're going to do it to the other side. I think. And we're going to move this down a little bit. No, just this way. Right? And this up a little bit. Alright. See how this looks? So if we go back to this composition. That was way too much. Okay, we'll go and move this up a lot more here. And move this a lot more here. Okay, now if we go back here to this composition, so this looks pretty good. This looks, for the bottom is still a little bit, how is the bottom? No, it's still not perfect. Well, actually no, I think the bottom is also pretty good. Okay, so what's left is this side is not right, so we're gonna take this pin, this corner pin here, we're just gonna move it in a little bit. Yeah, and now when we go back here, how does it look? We're gonna just select this so we don't see the border. Alright, now as you can see, oh god, that's not too great. Okay, so it worked here, but over here it's pretty bad. That's weird. Okay, so well, we're gonna have to fix this because we can't let it stay like that. It's pretty bad. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go to where it was actually okay. So right around here, and we're gonna hit S for the scale and keyframe it. So we're not gonna lock the scale. And at the start, when it's really bad, we're just gonna scale this inwards just a little bit, and we're gonna move it that way. Just select this, just move it that way. Let's take, and then let's see. Okay, And we're gonna have to fix our corner pins. So we're gonna have to keyframe our corner pins too. So we go here, we're gonna go to this thing and see where the corner pins are. We're gonna have to actually go to, so what time in our actual thing was this? Oh, what time was it actually looking fine? Oh, we also need to keyframe the position too. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna have to actually hit P, keyframe the position. I don't know, usually when you do 3D motion tracking you don't have to do this, but we're a little bit unlucky. But it's also lucky because now I can show you how to solve this when this does happen. So we're gonna go back this way with the position. Right, so we're gonna go to, let's see, what is it? It's just after 8. Okay, so we're gonna go here, and we're gonna keyframe the corner pins. Then over here, at the start, we're gonna put these all back. So if we put this at, I think it's 0, 0, and then this should be 19, 20, or yeah, just put it at the top. Put this one at the top too, or at the bottom. At the bottom. Okay, so now it's kind of animated. So that way, now we can check to see what it looks like in the actual thing. See how this is looking. Okay, so what's wrong? Let's see, this should be dragged in a little bit and down a bit, or well, I guess this should be dragged down and then rotated. So we drag this down a little bit and that down a little bit, and this all the way to the end a little bit. So this has to come back. Okay, so we're gonna go to the start and actually bring this one in a little bit. And go here to our thing, see how that looks. Okay, probably gotta bring it in even more. A little bit more. That might be a bit much. Oh my god. Yeah. And this one, put it in the corner. There's that. It's too much. Yeah. And so you have to keep trying until you get the perfect result. Now we're getting closer. And same with the top one needs to go, so the bottom one needs to go in a little bit. And we can stretch it out. Okay, so we're going to go back here, bring this in a little bit. Go like that to the... Okay, so this is pretty decent. Now all we got to do is stretch it a little bit. So we go back to this, select this comp, and stretch it out a little bit like that, so it like fits the computer screen. Alright, and now it looks pretty good. Can, like here, you probably want to move it a little bit this way. You slide and stuff like this. Just want to move it a teensy bit that way. Oh, look at the bottom actually, wait. When does the bottom... Okay, yeah, even here the bottom is a bit like that, so we gotta raise this one up. Okay, we gotta go like this, I guess. Next time. Okay, raise this one up a little bit. Again, you just have to keep trying until it works. No, that was too much. Alright, there you go. I think it helps if your computer screen is actually on, because then it has more tracking points and it's better 3D tracking. Okay, let's take a look at how this is. I think this is actually pretty good. Yeah. Now, the only thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a few effects to this. So we're going to blur it a little bit, because as you can tell, it's way too perfect. So we're just going to see if we can get away with a Gaussian blur. Just 3. Maybe 4. There. That's good. I think the white is a bit too perfect. We might change the color of the background. Yeah, maybe get just a teensy bit darker, because this white is a bit too perfect. Just gonna go here, layer settings or solid settings. Layer solid settings, and we're going to change this and we're going to make it just a little bit darker. Okay, now when we go back here it should look a little more natural. Yeah, so now as you can tell we have a result that is pretty decent. Alright, you can use this effect anywhere. You can put text onto like a wall that doesn't actually exist. You can put a poster on a wall that doesn't exist. You can use this kind of 3D tracking to do a lot of things. And yeah, like you can create book covers on books, and you can even have the book flip. I've seen that been done. So you know, have fun. And I think this will prove to be pretty useful to a lot of people. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you found it useful.